So the next thing that we want to add to our building is the wall foundation. So we're going to be supporting this W7 or load bearing wall, and likewise our W3 and W1. So how are we going to place the foundation wall, and what type of wall are we going to be using? Let's go to our first floor. And if we look at our W3 and investigate by clicking on the edit type, you'll notice that we're going to be supporting a wall that is around 334 millimeters thick. So if we edit the type, you actually can see the total thickness of that wall. Now, be cognizant that when we are looking at the first floor plan, we're actually seeing also this protruding sweep. So we might want to think about how or where we're going to place our foundation wall. Normally, you don't want to, or you don't need to support the gypsum, nor do we need to support this sweep, which is floating in mid-air, or not really floating, but it's above the ground. When we build our wall, we're just supporting this part here. Now, but since this is 334, we're actually only supporting, minus the gypsum, a total thickness of 3 to 1, since the gypsum is 13 millimeters thick. We do have our W5, which is 350 thick. So it's way over this thickness. So we're not really worried about where to place it. But if it's really tight, like if they are really aligned to each other, make sure that you know where you're going to place your foundation wall. So for this one, we're just going to use the W5 to support the wall. Okay, make sure you click outside, because if you change, let's say if you select this and then change this to the W5, what will happen is you're going to be replacing this wall with the new wall, which is the W5. So you want to start the wall command without selecting any of the walls. You want to be in the first floor, right? Because notice that for a load-bearing wall, such as a foundation wall, it wants to start at the level it is supporting, which is the first floor, and go down. So here we're actually going down to the underside of the footing. So it's going down. Now, for the location line, we want to select the finish face interior. So we're going to be maybe selecting the inside part of the gypsum. But since this is a thick wall anyway, we'll just use the outer finish face of the gypsum. Okay, so we're creating a chain. There's no offset since we are directly placing it here at the finish face of the interior of the W3, aligned to that. And we're going to go clockwise, so that the wall will go to the right of our line. So let's do that. Let's start here. Again, since our wall is thick enough, we're just going to align it to the gypsum. Okay. Now, there's a warning that's going to be given us when we start our wall, because we're not going to be able to see the wall that we're building because it's going down. So the warning simply states that it is not visible in this particular view. So there's that warning right there. We can ignore that. We'll just go around and build our wall. Zoom out, zoom in, and build our wall. Zoom out, zoom in, and start building our wall. And zoom in. See, you want to zoom in because you do want to make certain that you are clicking the correct endpoint. So building a wall. Okay, almost done. Click, zoom in, and we can end right here. And click on the modify button, go to our 3D view. Notice that we have our walls, right? Nicely aligned to the gypsum, it goes beyond, so that's okay. And if we go back here and cut a section, which we already have here, look at that section. Notice that it is nicely aligned to the gypsum. It goes beyond, so we're protecting everything or supporting everything that needs support. So that's how we build our gypsum. And see, we have here, if we look at this layer here is facing the exterior side of the building, which is the damp proofing, right? And drainage. So that's the damp proofing and the drainage. So it should be at the outside, which is where it is now. So we're good. And that's how you align your foundation wall with your exterior wall. The next thing that we're going to be building will be the foundation wall for our W7